It was definitely a test of my own strength, but at the same time, it was a dream come true to be able to spend the night all by myself in this location.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you clicked on this video, you probably want to know what really happened at the Conjuring House during the filming of Mysteries Decoded. A lot of things happened that didn't make the final cut, so stay tuned to the end of the video to find out all the details. If you're new here, I'm Para-Sara, and if you like weird things like aliens and ghosts, subscribe and notify so you never miss my posts. So the first thing I want to address, because I already know somebody somewhere is about to ask this question, is it fake? Is this paranormal show and other paranormal shows fake? Do they stage it? Do they pretend to have paranormal activity? What's really going on here? This show was absolutely not faked. All of the paranormal occurrences that happened during the filming of Mysteries Decoded were 100% organic. Absolutely nothing was faked. Absolutely nothing was staged. Jen wasn't just pretending that something was affecting her in the house. Nobody that's ever worked with her has ever seen her act like this before.
Honestly, this has affected me like no other investigation.
What are you feeling?
Like not good, not welcome.
Do you want to do it in a different room?
Yeah, I don't know what
But
that
you're not
is.
seeing anything, you're feeling something.
It's something where I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and then I thought, okay, and I don't think it was a person. Now, instead of like the get out, I'm feeling the like, kind of like a notice me sort of thing. Like the pressure in the room changed. And it wasn't just, oh, I thought it happened. It happened 3 times.
Okay, we won't go back into that. I have to ask you this, though. I have to ask you. This isn't how you normally behave. This isn't
No.
the way you normally do the show.
No.
This isn't.
No.
Okay, you're absolutely 100% not comfortable right there doing that.
No, I don't know what's happening there, but I'm not, it's not a bad vibe, but it's like it's an insistent vibe. It's an insistent vibe. There's something going on, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not saying it's a ghost, it could be energy, I don't know what it is, but there's something there that we're not here anymore. I'm not there.
I know you guys saw some of it in the episode, but there's so much that happened while the cameras weren't rolling and that we didn't even get to talk about. We had doors opening and closing, handles rattling, things moving around, people seeing things. I mean, we walked into this place ready to start recording interviews, but instead we just got inundated with like weird stuff happening. One of the things we didn't talk about was when the actual director saw somebody in the window and went to go tell them to leave the set and found that nobody was there. He was freaked out by that. Off camera, Jen saw a door open. You guys saw the part where I heard that door handle rattling.
Hold that thought. Let me get the wide shots here, and then we'll come back to that. So we're just gonna get some wide shots. What was it?
Did you guys just hear that?
I did hear that.
And this is all like literally within the first like half hour of us even getting there. Now, how did it feel to physically be inside of the Conjuring House? Well, I have to say, to be honest with you, it's not like this house is 24/7 evil. Sometimes it's evil and sometimes it's peaceful. There was a lot of activity, but I didn't necessarily feel too oppressed, except for specific parts of the building. Like, I really did not like the upstairs. Something about the upstairs just felt like you're suffocating. It feels like you just really don't want to be there. Like, I liked being downstairs in the living room, but being upstairs is just like, I could not wait to get back downstairs.
The first demonologists to help the parents discover what entities were in their house were twin brothers Carl and Keith Johnson. They led a paranormal investigation group back in the 70s when they were still in college.
Now, when the demonologists came in, we had to switch gears immediately because they started addressing the negative entity, they started talking about it, and they started trying to confront it. It was really cool to meet Keith and Carl in person, and the investigation we did together was pretty interesting.
Another thing I have is divining rods. They've been incorporated into paranormal investigation. For yes, affirmative, they will open apart from each other towards me. For no, they'll cross at the tip, and they can point and gesture. So we may get nothing, we may get something.
Now, I do want to note that paranormal investigators don't actually consider dowsing rods to be valid forms of equipment for the collection of scientific proof of the paranormal. There are simply too many variables involved with these devices. A person could stand really still but simply lean forward just a little bit and the dowsing rods might close or open or move in a certain direction. sometimes people might be leaning in a certain direction without even like consciously knowing that they're doing that. So it's not like every person with dowsing rods is faking something. It's more just there's too much room for error.
Jennifer.
Corey and Jennifer Heinzen are the new owners. They live here along with their 2 kids, Kyler and Madison.
One little fun fact blooper is this scene right here that you see of us meeting Corey and Jennifer and the family for the first time was actually really funny because that was the first scene that we shot. Like the first time that we said, okay, rolling action, and we did the interview. That was the first time that I even like spoke on camera. And so we all line up in the living room and they're like, action. And then I was supposed to be the person to speak first. I'm like all confident, ready to start. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is like, very professional. Another thing that didn't make the final cut was the story about people getting stabbed in the leg. Several people that have visited the Conjuring House, as well as people who have lived there, primarily Andrea's mom, have reported that they will suddenly feel a super intense stabbing sensation in the leg. They say that it feels like a needle is just being jabbed into their leg. This probably didn't make it into the final cut because they didn't really have any way to tie this in with the rest of the story. But the reason why I bring it up is because when I came home from the Conjuring House, my boyfriend started experiencing this exact occurrence. I remember I was home one time when this happened to him, and we were both sitting across from each other, just scrolling on our cell phones, hanging out, and all of a sudden he like drops his phone and stands up in like a total state of like panic, grasping his leg because he felt like something stabbed it, and he was like screaming. Like this was so intense.
I would just be hanging out in my bed and I'd feel a sharp, intense pain that would make me stop everything in my left leg. I didn't know where it came from. There's no explanation as to why it would just hurt so bad, but it would just be within like a second and then it would stop.
He had never experienced this before, and I have never seen anybody experience this before, so this leads me to believe that whatever it was at the Conjuring House that was doing this to people did follow me home. Another question I get pretty often is, did you actually sleep there overnight? I definitely stayed there overnight. Oh yeah, I stayed overnight at the Conjuring House. That's no joke. They're not making it up. We're not just saying that for the show. I was there all night, from dusk until dawn. From dusk until dawn. So how it went was basically the crew of Mysteries Decoded left, and then I was there by myself, and then some of the people who like own the house and run the business were still there. So me and them did a spirit box session together, and then after we were done investigating for a while, they left and I was alone in the Conjuring House. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, like, you're totally fucking crazy, Sarah. And yes, I am. That was definitely a test of my mental strength. I still can't believe I did that. I really did do that. That was crazy. So where I slept was the library. They gave me one of those like military folding bed thingies with a blanket and a pillow, and when I was finally ready to go to sleep, I did lay in that bed and I closed my eyes, but to be honest with you, like, there was absolutely no sleeping happening, okay? Like, I'm alone in the Conjuring House. I was laying there, like, literally just waiting for those two doors to slam open and for me to just, like, completely lose my shit. Like, my eyes were, like, closed, but they're so lightly closed. They're, like, bro, I was so ready for some crazy shit to go down. Part of it was the fact, too, that, like, when I would lay my head down on the pillow, I could hear this, like, continuous banging sound, and it sounded like it was coming from, like, the center of the earth, or just, like, really far away, but, like, underneath the earth. And that was really weird because it was just, like, ominous, creepy, didn't know what it was. One of my theories, though, because I'm trying to debunk it, is that maybe possibly it could have been like a mining thing. Like maybe there's like a mine nearby and the machine was running all night and I could hear it like through the ground. I don't know what it was, but it was like really creeping me out. Like it was super ominous. In the middle of the night, I did hear something upstairs fall down, but none of the cameras were rolling or anything, so there really wasn't much I could do about that. I also heard one of the far away doors open at some point during the night. I basically spent the whole night gathering every last bit of like mental courage that I had within me and just really trying to focus on like my protection and my guides like assisting me and watching over me. I was really careful to maintain a mentality of like, I'm okay, everything's okay, like I'm strong, my guides have my back, and I'm gonna survive this and nothing horrible is gonna happen to me. When you're in a situation like this, keeping track of your mentality is extremely important. You cannot let your imagination run wild if you're in deep shit like I was. If I was a newbie investigator, I definitely would have ran out that house screaming, for sure, on multiple occasions. Fortunately for me, I have over a decade of experience under my belt, which means I've been in a lot of paranormal situations. I have a lot of stuff that happens to me at my house anyways, so I was able to kind of be a little bit more courageous than the average person.
Were you scared last night?
There were moments, but at the end of the day, I feel like this house gave me the energy that I put into it, and because I came here with nothing but love and light, my experiences here were only positive.
I do want to take this opportunity to say that you create your reality with your thoughts, with your vibration, with your frequency. So it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to manifest the situations and circumstances that you're thinking about and what you're putting out into the universe. So if you're going to a paranormal location or a scary location, just be really careful about your thoughts, because if you let your thoughts run wild, you might attract a situation or a circumstance that you do not prefer. But if you focus on love and light, you will have experiences that are more conducive to that. And this goes for life in general, though. Always keep in mind that your thoughts and emotions manifest your reality. One thing that didn't make the cut that I'm actually like super bummed about is the EVPs that I caught! I caught some really, really good EVPs. I'm a paranormal investigator and an EVP specialist, so to have my EVPs not make it into the final cut was like, what the fuck? But we are gathered here today to give these EVPs the attention that they deserve. Okay, so the first one I want to show you is actually a recording of a spirit box session. Now this session was done in the first living room after the Mysteries Decoded crew actually left. You're going to hear me saying hello and asking the spirit to say hello, and then at the very end you're going to hear an extremely clear hello. Now one thing about this recording I want to note is that I feel like they're actually saying hello like 3 times. Like if you listen to it over and over again and you listen really, really carefully, you can kind of hear as if it's trying to like say hello multiple times. I want to know what you hear, so let me know in the comments below. Can you say hello? Hello? The second thing I want to show you is an EVP that I captured. I believe it was upstairs. You're going to hear me ask the spirits basically if it was okay that like so many people were there. And then in response to that, I capture the spirit saying, "It's turned on you." What? That is so creepy. It's like it's saying like, because you brought so many people here, now it's turning on you.
So what do you think of the crew being here? Was it too crowded, or were you okay with that?
Ooh, okay, here's another thing. This gives me the chills. So I was going through my EVPs and I found one that I had kind of dismissed back in the day that now I realize is extremely relevant, because if you've watched my other video, and I'll link it up here, about how something followed me home from the Conjuring House, then you'll know about the story of the pig man, or the pig sounds that I heard. To summarize, when I went back to film more pickup scenes for this episode, I had an experience in a hotel room where I heard these pig sounds like coming from the bathroom, and it was so loud and it was so like disgusting, and it was like continuous, and I looked everywhere to find the source of this sound, and it wasn't the neighbor, it was just like this phantom pig sound Well, lo and behold, when I was going through my old EVPs, like, I found a recording of what seems like it's kind of like a pig sound. Now, the one I found in the recording is a lot shorter than what I heard and what I experienced in that hotel room. So I guess I'll let you guys hear it real quick, but it's really short, and just imagine that sound happening like very long and like drawn out and happening over and over again and extremely loud.
Come on, let's play a game.
Yeah, this gives me the chills because just the fact that like I had dismissed that recording and then I experienced that sound like live in person, super loud, and then to go back and listen to the old EVPs and find that exact sound in a recording at the Conjuring House. So it's like that takes away any doubt that something followed me home, because like, no, the exact sound that I heard that made me think something followed me from the Conjuring House, I caught an EVP of that at the Conjuring House. The last EVP I want to show you is my favorite one. I think it's the best one because this is one of those rare occasions that paranormal investigators absolutely live for, because I learned a piece of information from this EVP that I was literally able to Google and verify and learn that this place actually really exists. So at this point during the night, everybody's wrapping up and it's me and the director in the kitchen dining room area. They were all packed up and they were about to leave, so the director came back in to say a few things before he left. So in response to that, I said okay, and after that, you hear a spirit say, "Go to Cranston."
Okay.
But dude, did you know that Cranston actually exists? Like, not only does it exist, but it's extremely close to the Conjuring House. There's like a whole area of the city that's called the Cranston area. It used to actually be like its own city, the city of Cranston. And it's like, what, 15 minutes away from the Conjuring House? Nobody knew about Cranston until I get this EVP, and then I decide to Google the word Cranston, and I found out that it's a city like literally right next to the Conjuring House. Like, imagine getting a piece of information that you can verify. This is the type of stuff that I live for, you guys. So yeah, that's the gist of everything that happened behind the scenes on the making of Mysteries Decoded, Curse of the Conjuring. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my merch. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.